So you got things going in the second half that really pulled away.
I would say, in the beginning, yeah, we did start off slow, and then Coach Dawkins like noticed like how the game was going, and then he switched like to our 1-2. What is it?
12, 23, 2,
Yeah,
3 zone.
yeah, our 2-3 zone, and that like seemed to give him problems.
This is your second game, Taylor, where you've only missed one shot on the stat line here. At what point in this game, because our last game was behind the back dribble and then the three, you
Mm-hmm.
started to feel it there. What moment in the game did you start to feel it today with your shooting presence?
I guess after my second three.
Something about that second three, though, that point in the game that got special, huh?
Yeah, I guess because like after the first one, it's like all right, I made my first shot, and I think my second like field goal was a three. I was like, all right, it's probably gonna be one of those games.
How do you feel being recognized by the American week after week?
It's definitely it feels really good, that they're noticing me, but we're still gonna try to do well as a team and try to keep getting wins.
Jay, how's this season going for you? Because I know this is your first, real Division I college season. You start the season off as a starting point guard because Darius out. Now you're learning to play with each other on the court. How would you say this early part of the season is going for you?
What Coach Doc says, just switching roles, whatever the moment asks for. So 1 minute I'm the point guard, I'm facilitating. Next I'm scoring. Next I'm playing with DJ. We both doing it. So I'm just doing that what Coach asks.
What was it like for you to kind of have to flash, get chemistry in with these guys too? Because I talked to Taylor last week about it. You guys have developed a lot of chemistry in a short time, having to step in and take that point guard role. What's that been like for you?
It's been pretty easy, honestly, because they good guys. They know the game. They all trying to get each other involved. So I just trust their instincts. If I get off of it, I know they're gonna make the right basketball play.
Taylor, you talked about Coach Dawkins scheduling different kinds of opponents that challenge you in different ways. How was this team challenged by Tarleton?
I mean, this team is a really good team. We just came out and played really well. If they stayed in the game with really good teams like Baylor, I think that was their last game they played before us. They put Baylor to the test, and then to the end they kind of let it off. But they were a really good team. But yeah.
Jay, how good was it to play a team that really tried to press you up and down the court? I mean, there'll be other teams that'll do that. Was that kind of a good test to see how you guys could handle that?
I feel like it was. That's one of the best defensive teams that I've seen pressing wise. They applying pressure full court, sliding, talking the whole time. I feel like they're great defensively.
Jay, what are you kind of learning about your game this year? Playing, obviously, you step up in competition. Thrown right into the fire, playing a lot of minutes right off the bat. Like, what are you kind of learning, and where are you starting to improve? You think?
I'm learning I can't jump as much as to make passes, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. Hit gaps, make the easy one, draw two kicks.
7-2 now. What do you think you guys still need to improve upon now in this last couple before conference play?
I would say our transition. I don't feel like we're getting enough transition points for the depth we got.
Last week you had that whole full week before you had another game. What was practice like? How was practice different to prepare for today?
Honestly, practice was tough. A lot of competing. That's why I'm surprised we came out to the slow start we did. But we were competing hard. Probably the cold getting to us, but we was competing the whole time in practice.
Go ahead, Brandon.
No, go ahead.
Next couple of games, of course, going to be on the road. Now, obviously you have the tournament Sunrise. It's in the state and all that, but next game is going to be on the road there. What kind of challenge would that? How would that challenge be a little bit different for you? What will you kind of do to prepare for that?
We're just gonna prepare for this game like we prepare for every other game. It doesn't matter like the name of the team. We're still gonna try our best. And this next game against Ole Miss is gonna be our first like true away game. So it's gonna be different type of atmosphere. But we'll adjust and go along with it.
Good. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Or sit safe.
We got any more than maybe short?
Thanks again, Taylor.
Thank you, guys.
Christmas shirts?
Yeah.
That's a marketing question. Thanks, man. I don't know.
You're a marketing guy.
I'm the SID. I'm media. You know Jeremy?
Also, just so you know, the 11 threes are a new season high.
He's the guy with the headset on.
Okay.
That he was helping with sorority and fraternity shit.
I thought you were saying lock. No, I'm saying it's live.
Yeah, they might have a spare one. I don't know. We'll
They
see.
hit 10 3 times before this season, but 11 today in the season.
How we doing, fellas? Everyone doing good?
Yeah. What about you,
Good.
Ken? How you holding up?
Oh, just swell. Just having a great old time over here.
If you'll hit his today, that's a big deal.
Yes. Yeah, I was torn between getting him or Tay, but I know you guys probably.
No, either of those have been awesome. You did great, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I would sit 3 if we had 3 chairs. I mean, we could just pull one. Yeah. 2 is a good number. All right, I'm gonna go find a.
Thanks, man. Yeah, you can finish. Was CJ Walker still in street clothes?
Yes.
No, no, good looks. Yeah, sell them. Oh, sorry.
Tarleton or Tarleton? I think it's Tarleton.
I think it's Tarleton. What's going on, Dave? Doing all right? How are you? Keep him busy, brother. Keep him busy.
you could tell that was kind of dysfunctional. And then they had to kind of unfire him. And they had him be the quarterback coach, not the offensive coordinator, even though nothing ever really changed.
You gotta be Army too.
Yeah.
Yeah, run with a little bit then.
Yeah.
Maybe well.
But then they lost a lot of players apparently during COVID. Because guys can leave and they can't replenish players from the transfer portal. That's just not a thing.
And NIL, I mean, like
Yeah.
those sorts of things. I don't know how they compete for. That's really scary.
Or they have to build it up with upperclassmen that have been there. I mean, if they're real young in spots, I don't know.
It's a long run there, though. Interesting to see where they go.
I think the coach at Kennesaw State has ties.
Here we go.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, no problem.
I know we having it on fire. You guys understand that in this profession, right?
All too well.
Well, like I said, we again, everyone we play is always going to be a very competitive, tough team, and we played another one tonight. I think Billy does a great job with his group, and they were just really shorthanded. We caught them on a night where they were missing 2 starters. Their leading scorer and the second leading scorer both were out with injuries, and that's tough for any coach, tough for any team to try to overcome. I thought, looking at their first half, even with all that being said, I thought they were very competitive. As you can see, they had to play some guys so many minutes. Several guys went 40 minutes, and that's just hard, and we're picking up and pressing and wearing teams down that do that, and I thought we kind of warmed down a little bit in the second half.
How'd you like how your team responded? Especially, I know you said they were shorthanded, but they were pressing in the entire game, and was that kind of a good test for you guys to kind of, because you're going to face that as the season goes on?
Absolutely. We try to play teams that challenge us in different areas. As you know, when you're preparing for league play, you want to play different styles and different systems. And I think you've seen we've played a lot of different styles. We've played man, we've played zone, played against teams that pick up full and pressure in man. We played, zone presses. We're trying to play, different teams so our guys are prepared for anything that they may come across as they move forward into the season. And I thought this was another good test for us against a team that turns teams over a great deal. I mean, they scored pretty much 20 points a game off their opponent's turnovers. They shoot 28 free throws per night, which is second in the nation with free throw attempts. So we knew we were playing a team that we had to be very disciplined and very guarded against.
We mentioned this team that's prolific, showing up at the free throw line. How much did that Samford game last week prepare you for a team like that likes to get to the free throw line?
It really did prepare us. I mean, because we had just played another team that went to the free throw line a lot. So, of course, we talked to our guys and challenged them a lot after that game about, how we have to play discipline on defense and we can't pick up those type of fouls. And I thought we did a much better job. A team that shoots 28 free throws a night, they take 13. That's a lot better number for us. And I thought our guys definitely learned a valuable lesson last week.
And it's with that like situation where you had that full week. I guess this is one of those on the good side where you had that full week. You had more time to concentrate on that to prepare.
Well, a few things. We had time to concentrate academically because we had finals this week, so their minds were all over the place with making sure they finished up strong. And of course, definitely, basketball-wise, we were able to, tweak some things, see some things that we could do better, and that we had to work on based on the Samford game. And I thought our guys came out and made some improvements.
3-point game at the half. What would you have liked to have seen your team do a little bit better in the first half?
I thought we should have done a better job of keeping the ball out the paint. I thought of that 3-point game in the first half, they had 27 points. I want to say 20 of them came in the paint. And so we have to do a better job of, guarding our yard and understanding what we're trying to do with our defensive rotations.
What can you say about Taylor Hendricks and just what he gives you every game, it seems like now?
Well, tell him he's a terrific young player. You see him getting better and growing in every game. And the thing I like about him is, like I say, he's very coachable, and he really does have a next play mentality. No matter what happens in one play, if it doesn't go his way, he doesn't dwell on it. He goes right to the next play. And I think that's why he finds such consistency in his game, because he has a short memory. Basketball can be tough on guys who have a long memory because they can dwell on things that wasn't positive. He doesn't dwell on things that don't work out for him. He goes to the next play and figures something else out, and that's a good quality. I hope he continues to keep that.
Of course, in this game, he didn't really have a whole lot to forget. Once again, only missing one from the
Field.
there. Yeah, so that's. I think you had that last week where only had one missing from the field. Is it something with preparation? Like, what do you do with a player like that who's kind of feeling it like that? Is it hands off, or have you done anything to kind of keep him going? How does that work?
Well, of course, we want to keep him involved in our offense. And offense, as you know, you can tell by how he plays. We find him when he has opportunities. We want him to be aggressive when he has his looks to take them. And I think he plays with a lot of confidence that way. And he's just very efficient. He's a very efficient player. I mean, the reason why I think he shoots like percentages like he shoots is because very rarely does he take bad shots. He's pretty much taking shots he knows he can make. And I think that's a mark of a really good player. He's finding shots in our offense that he knows he's capable of knocking down, so he shoots a good percentage doing it.
7-2 after 9 games, couple of close losses. What do you still not know about this team?
Well, as we start to move forward, with 9 new guys, I'm still learning each individual player. I'm still learning about our rotation still. We don't have C.J. Walker, consistently with us yet. So there are things that I'm not sure as he comes back. Our rotations, have to be adjusted again. Even with the guys we have now, our rotations are still being tweaked because guys are assuming different roles. Jayhlon's just assumed a different role a couple games ago. So we're still learning how guys are going to respond to different roles. And that's probably the biggest thing that we're learning is just through our personnel with 9 guys, where are we, on a day-to-day basis with our growth.
You mentioned Jayhlon Young learning different roles. Just talking about the young guy who comes in, starting point guard with Darius out, he's learning maybe how to come off the bench, he's learning how to play on the court with Darius. What have you liked about Jayhlon this season?
Well, the thing I've liked, and I've said it earlier, the best thing about any player, is that you're all about winning. And Jayhlon's all about winning. So whatever role he's in, he's going to accept it. He's going to try to do his best to help the team win. I think you see that. So when he changed his role, all he did was, he never dropped his shoulders and put his head down. He just like, okay, coach, what do you need from me now? And he's been looking to give us that. And that's why I think he's been successful because he's so adaptive to, he's adaptable. He's able to go from any role and try to make the most out of that opportunity. And that's been very helpful for us because he's had such a really good year. And then he's having a good year in both roles, which is rare for most players. It takes a certain character to do what he's doing, and I've enjoyed coaching him.
Yeah, another guy who had a big night tonight, Ithiel Horton, another transfer came in. What can you say about his development so far as a Knight here in this year, and how did that come out tonight?
I thought Ithiel played well. I thought he had a really good bounce-back game. I didn't think he had his best night the other night. He was shooting the basketball. He didn't have his best shooting night. I thought he responded, bounced back tonight, had a really good night, knocking down shots. He's a very good shooter. We have a lot of confidence in him as a staff, as well as his teammates. And it's good to see him, go out there and have a night like this because there's nobody that puts more time in the gym and extra time on working on his game than Ithiel. He's a gym rat. He wants to be really good. And so you're happy to see a kid get rewarded for that type of work ethic.
What are you seeing from Darius now? He's still got to get back into the flow of things, doesn't he?
Definitely. He still has to get back. And it's going to be a process. You can't be out that long and then play 3 or 4 games and get back to where you were. It just doesn't work that way. He's shown some flashes and some moments, but he's going to have some moments like he did today where he couldn't really get in gear like he normally has been. So it's good for him. These games are always good, no different than the last game for Ithiel because it's how you respond to these games. That's how you grow. And you only grow through adversity. And so, he has a game where he probably wasn't his best game, but it still was, to me, if we don't have him in a game like this, his ball handling, he's strong with the ball, he finds guys. Those are all qualities that can go, overlooked in a game like this. That team is long, especially on the perimeter spots with 6'5", 6'6" guards. They can swallow you up. He did a great job of maneuvering the basketball, finding his teammates, getting to the basket, helping to draw fouls, getting us in the bonus, all the things that I see, the positives that he did. And so he may not have scored and may have turned it over 1 or 2 more times than I would have liked, but I thought overall he had a good floor game for us, and we needed it against that type of pressure, full court pickup, run and jump. That type of defense really doesn't bother him, and that really helps our team.
How important is this next week just in terms of the challenge and really big games too? You go on the first real away game at Ole Miss, and you got Missouri who's having a fantastic season.
No, absolutely. They're playing really well, and Ole Miss is projected to be one of the better teams in the SEC this year, I believe. So, that's the type of teams we're going to play. You guys have been with us, the entire time I've been here. And so you've never seen us not play challenging schedules in the preseason. And we won't. We want to play teams that are going to help prepare us for conference play. And we know, those 2 games that are coming up, Ole Miss, of course, is the one we're concentrating on first, are going to be, tough tests for us. But that's going to help us as a team grow. Absolutely, and that's good for us. We've only had a neutral site games, so going out on the road for a true road game is going to be good for our growth as well. Before we hit league play, we want to make sure we go out and see where we are, when we go to an opposing team's arena.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you,
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
Hey, you guys got it? All right, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Travel safe.
Thank you. Guys, take care.
See you soon. Nobody traveling to Ole Miss, right?
Not I.
Just want to make sure, because you know they're going to ask.
I kind of thought about it at the beginning of the season, with recruiting and football, getting ready for a bowl. It's just kind of
It's a lot.
yeah.